Hey there, listeners. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Brian Reed.
And my name is Sarah Koenig. We're glad you're here.
Hi, I'm just kidding. My name's just Caleb.
And my name's Kate.
We're just tipping our unseeable hats to some of our favorite podcast hosts. So, Kate, let's get down to what we're really going to talk about today. You know when you finish your essay, you don't quite know how to wrap up those loose ends?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest part of writing a fantastic paper. You're tired and you just want to submit it as is.
I know I do. But if we're trying to become better writers, we should really know how to write a concluding paragraph that is well thought out and constructed properly.
You're absolutely right, Caleb. So what are some steps we can take to make some dope conclusions?
Initially, like any other paragraph, you're going to want to throw in a transition sentence. So start with a phrase like, lastly.
Wait. We're going for dope conclusions, not weak ones. If you really want your conclusion to stand out, you should really try and avoid lastly.
Why is that?
If you're going for something generic, lastly is fine. But if you're looking to spice things up, try to think of something else. Words and phrases like thus, in conclusion, and to recapitulate do a better job of capping off your thoughts and findings.
Ah, interesting. Those do spice things up a bit.
Yeah. Okay, now on to the rest of the paragraph.
So after you have used a great transition word or phrase, you're going to want to restate your main points of the paper.
Are you talking about a thesis statement?
You know it, but don't just copy and paste your original thesis from your introductory paragraph. Try to make it at least a little bit different. What are some ways you think you could do that?
Rephrasing is one way to keep things fresh. Another way is to use synonyms to state the same ideas. This way, your reader gets the same thoughts, just in different words.
So what should you do after you restate your thesis? Maybe add some last-minute thoughts and ideas that are new to the paper?
No! Your conclusion should never consist of new ideas. When new thoughts are thrown in at the last minute, it can distract your reader and create loose ends. Instead, it should summarize. After your thesis, go ahead and restate some bigger points of your paper.
How can I do this?
A great way to do this is to connect your points anecdotally to the future or present world. This can be a great way to wrap up your paper without adding new main points. You should also answer any questions that you asked earlier in your paper. That way, the reader won't feel like they're reading empty content.
Oh, and then I can say what I think about the whole thing, right?
Wrong again.
Psych, I was just testing you. When you say, I think, you are imposing yourself on the content of the paper. Unless you are specifically told to have an I think statement in your conclusion, try to stay away from that.
And there you have it. We hope this little podcast helps you create solid conclusions from here on out.
Yes, to recapitulate, your conclusion should consist of a transition word or phrase, a restated thesis, a summary of your paper, and maybe an anecdotal connection.
Remember that your conclusion will be the last thing that your audience will read, so make it pack a punch. A weak conclusion can result in a weak grade.
Good luck concluding!